Hey, it's Green Rumor. This is my 70, 71, 72 Maestro Fuzz Phazzer pedal. I've had it since probably the mid to late 70s, and I don't get rid of anything, so it's been stored away because it started to tweak out on me. It wasn't working anymore, and I actually thought it was the main potentiometer that's connected to the pedal gears. But that was not the case. So what I did was I broke it out because I bought a new to me Fender Hot Rod DeVille 410, and I just started pulling out old pedals to see, oh, what's this sound like with it? What's that sound like? And then I ran into this Fuzz Phazzer. I thought, oh man, I haven't looked at that forever. Let's see what's wrong with it. I just hadn't had a chance to. So they don't all have this rubber grip. I put that on, I don't know when, but anyway. So I got the screws out already. What I did was figured it out. First I took the board out and flipped it over, and sure enough, there was 3 broken traces where a couple of transistors had pushed themselves through the trace and just ripped it. And one of the capacitors did the same thing. So I don't know, just jostling around. I'm not sure why that happened, but it happened. So, one thing you gotta do is these old boards, check them out. They're pretty rough build, pretty thin traces. So anyways, I repaired those traces with some pretty nice little jumpers to the next trace. And then, okay, so it started working. It started to fuzz, sound like a distortion pedal, but no action on the throw. With it in off mode, it worked volume, which this thing is actually a volume control. With it not in phase, with the stomp switch not clicked. So that part was working fine, but you click it and you could get the fuzz but no phase, and then I realized, wait a second, this is an opticoupler circuit. So if you know what that is, those 3 white discs are photocells. They're photosensitive discs, and they react to that light bulb, which that teeny light bulb had a broken leg that wasn't working, wasn't lighting. So, okay, cool. So I found another light bulb that I had, and it wasn't correct, but it was, pretty dim, and it worked. So I strapped that in there and had to zip tie it in and had it sitting sideways and got it working. So I knew, okay, that was the problem. That's all there was to it. It's phasing now. So I sourced out some light bulbs. Now you can't really change these out. You shouldn't change them with an LED. It just depends on what the opticoupler circuit's trying to do. But if you need one that sweeps through a range, like this one does, you want it to be incandescent. So it has a nice soft glow and a nice sweep throughout the whole path of the pedal. So here's the tricky one. This is what I use. They're model lights for like train sets. And some people call them a grain of wheat rice. Some people call them grain of rice light. Grain of wheat light or grain of rice light. It's hard to say. It's tongue twister. But that is what it takes. And these are 12 volt lights at 0.060 or just over half a watt. So at 9 volts, they must be around 0.40 or under a half a watt, and a nice subtle glow. So, if you plug in the pedal, which that's how you turn it on, is by plugging an instrument into it, you get the light, and then as you sweep through the pedal, it gets bright and dim. So the phone kind of shows this much brighter than it actually is, but if I had to guess, right about there where it looks like just the filament is glowing. It's still enough to light up those discs, but pretty subtle glow. That's about what it looks like on full brightness in person. But of course over the phone it just picks up light and it just looks super bright on the phone, which it's not. It's nowhere near that bright. It's just a subtle glow, just enough to illuminate those discs, and then as it sweeps through until it fades all the way out, you can hear the spring in this thing, which doesn't translate over to audio. But anyway, that was all there was to it. So hey, I got a package of 100 of these, so if anybody's looking for a light bulb for their opticoupler circuit, get a hold of me. I'll just give you one. Anyway, yeah, other than that, I might try and source out a couple of potentiometers. Those would be easy to find, those two audio pots. But that one right there is a stacked potentiometer with a long 1/4-inch shank to accommodate for that gear. And I can't really get the values dialed in. That's 250. This is reading 350, but it may be, and I haven't unsoldered this resistor here, but it might be 250, 250. But it might be 250, 350. And it's more likely that it's 250, 250, and I'm just picking up another 100 watts or 100 ohms off of this resistor here when I'm just sticking my ohm meter on there. Anyway, maybe somebody else knows, oh yeah, those are 250, 250 or whatever. But if you run into one of those, I can't find one. I can't find that potentiometer anywhere. Not that it really needs it, but if I was going to freshen up all the potentiometers, I would need all three. But anyway. So yeah, you're probably hearing some resonating from this banjo here. I just put a new skin on it, and what a beautiful instrument. That skin is a goat hide. It came from Jamaica, from Jeff Menzies, and it's a sweet skin. So if you have a banjo that needs to be reskinned and you want something cool, something tricky, that is a cool skin. And you can get a hold of him on Facebook. Anyway, I could hear my voice, just kind of ringing out of that banjo. Anyway, maybe you're not hearing it over the video. So I'm not going to play it. You guys can get on if you want to hear what a Maestro Fuzz Phazzer sounds like. You can watch a couple of videos online. You'll see they're out there. If you wanted to try and find one for yourself, good luck. I've seen them out there like $500, so I'm glad I kept it. And it sounds really cool. Now that I got it working again, it sounds sweet with this Fender Hot Rod DeVille that I picked up. So I just thought I'd share the Opticoupler. I think it's a fascinating circuit. And yeah, you never know what's wrong with your pedal. Get it out, peel it apart, check it out, see what you can find out. Hey, don't leave these things plugged in, because they will just eat up the battery. So, all right, it's Green Rumor. Have a good one. Stay safe.